move, especially with the Jawhead. So one last look here at the lineups for Twisted Minds and TNC Pro Team. Again, a crucial match ahead for both teams, but specifically TNC. If they can draw first blood in the series, the best of 3 to get closer to locking in the next spot for the playoffs. First time in a long time for TNC. If they're able to do that, let's go ahead and jump into the Land of Dawn.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
Early into the matchup, we might be seeing a fast rotation coming from the side of TNC Pro Team because again, of the Jawhead and the Vexana combo. One Cursed Blast and one Ejector play might be enough to clear out the mid lane earlier on into the matchup. So the threat now for Twisted Minds is how will they be able to counter out that rotation with their lineup?
That is true, and it's gonna take a while for both these teams to wrap up anyway, and a big bruiser battle is probably gonna erupt here somewhere soon. Free Martins even joining the fight.
You have Tigreal with the focusing mark emblem, so you know that's what I was saying. Hey, you go get those the crowd control off with the Tigreal. You might actually be able to burst someone down even quicker now. Yeah. With the Farsa on your side too. Yeah,
I think also with the adjustment of focusing mark, it really highlights the fact that their opponent teammates can be able to dish out 30% more damage output.
Yeah, and chase him out there like Diawi throwing it out with the ejector for James. James in trouble here. He's going down first blood. But RGZ is close. The rest of the team is here. MPL good damage on that electrifying beats. No. Free Martins still in the fight though. Escalera and Hajizi got MP the Kings back.
That's a good catch from TNC Pro Team and Twisted Minds. A lot of these things are happening because, again, of the fast rotation that we have been mentioning just a while ago. Right now, with this glue being alive and Yawi only dying, I would say that's very much worth it for TNC Pro Team heading into the first circle.
Yeah, so they go in, they get a pick off. That's good for them, but I want to say, you know, Twisted Minds to get on the board and the kill going over the MP the King, and that's going to give him some of that confidence to go and hopefully maybe grab an objective too. That's one thing that Twisted Minds has had trouble with, is really kind of securing these objectives early on. Now, if they get the scaling going, that's going to be great for the Joys. So already they'll rotate on over to that turtle. Escalera doesn't have that implosion yet, not level 4, so he's going to have to rely on James to kind of scout things out.
Ooh, Lancey's just got the Eternal Guard, and Free Martins can also kind of go split. But right now, it seems like it's Twisted going on the offensive here. Down goes the Eternal Guard, but looks like they're not going to be able to get in time for the turtle contest. TNC looks like they're going to be happy with just one kill on the James, though.
What's really good with that is really the strength of a Hilda that we have been talking about a while ago, but an implosion play.
Oh my goodness, Yawi might be in trouble here. Another pickup here coming in from Twisted.
That was a good response. I mean, Yawi's like, okay, I got this.
One more.
Oh, there we go, Twisted Minds.
Pop off, Kings, because right now Twisted Minds is really taking control of everything. Everything is going in the favor of Twisted Minds right now. From the pick-offs into the objectives, they're able to translate everything into their side.
That was a little bit of advanced thinking right there. Y'all got outplayed.
Yeah, well, Zyda's still going to be able to get the buff. But yeah, good response so far from Twisted Minds. They've been able to get control. Oh.
Look at that. Yawi's just really out for blood today, looks like it. But Escalera's clear. Escalera's close by. He's got some vision. He knows there's no immediate danger.
Okay, meanwhile, I'll play.
Oh, come on. Seriously, non-stop aggression from both of these teams. Even Benny Cutie trying to get something done here against the Granger, but looks like it's going to be no-go.
You see what's interesting here is that a lot of early skirmishes, not necessarily translating into kills, but still the aggression from both of these teams just goes to show how much they are out for blood right now, especially for TNC, that they are one win away. And for Twisted, they are looking for more wins right now.
Yeah, you want to see that. Again, with what's at play here for TNC to get to the playoffs, you want to see this fight from Twisted Minds. You want to have a full game series. If they're going to lock it in and TNC ends up winning, then Twisted Mind makes it happen. If not, it's also a huge win for Twisted Minds if they beat TNC here, because it at least gives them a little breathing room going into their next matches for week 7 and 8 moving forward.
You got to commend them for the giggle, man.
The giggle.
Which is an official English word in the Oxford Dictionary.
I saw that, I saw that.
Yes, it is. We can use giggle now.
How do they describe it again?
It's cute aggression.
Cute aggression, really?
It is. Cute something. But anyway, they're going to go get the turtle And looks like TNC just happy to take it slow as well. MP the King, though, trying to get something done. Got a lot of gold from those shields.
Yeah, I think this is also what Naisu has been mentioning a while ago.
Whoa.
That, oh my God!
There it is.
Goodbye, Yawi.
Goodbye, Yawi. And maybe that's why they picked up this Hilda, right? Just to be able to do stuff like that.
What was I mentioning earlier?
Yeah, that MP the King should be able to rotate very wonderfully. And with that, being able to get all of the gold plating up top, they are able to ensure that MP the King has snowball potential now.
True.
Yeah.
It's usually MP the King going ham in the first place anyway. Like, he loves to go ham on that Joy.
Yeah, he does. He's got to get that lead, and it's good that he has this. I'm surprised that turret didn't go down. I was expecting it to. Oh.
Escalera, that's a long, a very long unstoppable force there by Yawi. Escalera, though, has enough tankiness to withstand at least for now, though.
That's always the thing about playing the Jawhead, right? You're always going to be like, when you lock in with the unstoppable force, you're like, well, I'm on for the ride.
It's unstoppable for a reason.
That is true.
That's very true. So
They're
with
having
this,
a lot of fun here in the mid, man.
Yeah, you just get to this point where you kind of rely on these roamers both to set things up. Yawi has been trying.
Yeah.
And I feel like at most part, he's just going to have to continue to kind of sacrifice himself, because if you think about it, you don't have that coverage that Twisted Minds has right now, where they have the Hilda and they also have the Tigreal to help them out. Where it's on TNC, it's more Yawi, go for a pickoff.
It's
you know?
only him.
Yeah, like 3 Mart is a part of that, yes, on the glue, but he's got to be able to go ahead and respond and then find his own placements like this.
Oh boy, here comes the big boom booms coming in from the back. MP getting good damage on that Joy, and still TNC feels like they want to go. Ejector is ready, but no go for Yawi. James gets a kill. Benny Cutie is here as well. He's far from the 7 force. He can't really get the proc in, but Zyda and Lancey cleans it up.
Wow. What a very fast-paced matchup that we have right now. No ultimates for all of our roamers, but still, it's not yet done. It seems that Twisted Mind still wanted to be able to get something out of this turtle skirmish.
Okay, so it's going to go for the reset here. TNC will get control of it. We'll see if MP jumps in.
Here's MP. You know he's going to jump in, but will not be successful, at least for now. Zyda being on point with the Retribution so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see, the strength of Asuyu really relies on the fact that his first skill plus the Retribution has much more damage compared to all of the other junglers. So it's going to be one-on-one without anyone distracting the Suyu. It's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, it's hard to contest the Suyo, and that's, again, why it's such a prio.
Yeah.
Such a priority for a lot of the teams, just globally right now, because it's so strong in the objective takes, but also the damage and everything else, and the escapability. We've seen that showcased from time to time from different players here in the league. And so you find yourselves now with that little bit of an advantage, but Twisted Minds holds on.
Here we go.
Conceal is going to be used from Escalera.
Look at that. That's a very early use of Conceal here from Escalera.
I didn't know if he was going to like flicker forward and try to catch someone, but looks like they just call it off. They can't really, it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to find much. They're still a minute away from this Lord. But I will say, Twisted Minds has a pretty good take at the first Lord.
Yeah.
If they're able to just land wherever Escalera is looking to pick someone off of the implosion. So that's kind of what they can rely on. And I think that's why the Hilda works so great when it's like, all right, James, just go scout for me. You know, like scout for me and show me that information. That's exactly what he's doing there.
I think that's really the difference with the lineup from TNC compared to Twisted Minds. James can freely do that, whereas for 3 Martizi, he has to think twice a little bit before he does that because of the implosion coming up from the side of Twisted Minds. So right now with James being like this, it's going to be deadly for TNC.
Very deadly indeed. Look at that. Yawi actually absorbing so much damage. Could be going down soon. Nice cancel on there for Benny Cutie. Some good chrono dashes, and of course Synchrovision's just doing good damage to Twisted.
That's really interesting because now Lord's going to be up in a couple seconds here. They did expend that, and I'm still, surprised Yawi actually went and used the toss-up and the Unbreakable there. But so it should be back online by this fight because, Benny Cutie's got to wait for the Zaman Force too as they rotate up. But you can already see Twisted Minds getting in position. They want to force TNC off of this, but everyone will rotate back up now. And all ultimates are available.
Oh, that's a big committal here with a flicker. Escalera will go down. Emo is going to be used up. But look at that. Free Martizi in the back line, making sure they can't really join. They can't really help out Escalera. And they are running for the hills.
Free Martizi.
Look at that, boy. James is up front, but he is also low HP. That's going to be trouble, and there's just no way they can get near enough to go for the retry. That's TNC with the Lord.
Wow, decisive play coming from Yawi. Picks off the roam from Twisted Minds and gets him the Lord off of it.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty now of the Jawhead. We've seen Yawi try to do that multiple times but failing, but now that it has worked, we really see the isolation factor coming from a Jawhead's ejector plus unstoppable force. As long as he is able to target the right character, in this case, that's Escalera, it's going to be very much worth it for them because they have enough capability to burst and kite down their opponents, especially now that Benny Cutie will be able to build Holy Crystal in a while.
Yeah. That is a 10-minute Holy Crystal, very early. With all of this, right?
Yeah, at this point too, I will say, yeah, they got the Lord, but Twisted Minds is actually going to have a pretty good composition to go ahead and clear this out. So it is going to be work for TNC if they can actually get towards these base turrets. You can already see that tier 2 does go down. Lord already at half health, so it's going to be cleared out. Yawi will go in.
Charged in with the unstoppable force once more, but looks like this time around, Yawi got stuck a little bit between a rock and a hard place. There's James up on front. Yawi goes down. It looks like they're going to keep the siege going.
That's the troublesome part about it. They still go.
Benny Cutie, I think they're happy that they saw the Synchrovision being used up, the Zaman Force being used up. But look, Zyda up on front. Twisted Minds just can't make an advance.
Yeah, as of now, Twisted Minds are setting up place. What a great punishment from Yawi from that overextension. But they have to replicate that again. Right now, they don't need to focus on Yawi like this.
Yeah, they look for Benny Cutie and they find him. Sending the rest of TNC running here, and Zyda going down as well as Free Martizi.
Okay, Twisted Minds. Punish after punish.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that TNC was still going to be caught out after that, after even losing Yawi earlier on.
Oh boy.
And then they just get overrun, so hey.
Yo. The biggest deal of this, Outplay got so many kills now, his stacks must be off the roof! And look at that! Lancey going down! What is happening to TNC here?
Right.
Oh no.
Right now, I think Twisted Minds has enough kit. Look at that tank from Escalera just to be able to push down the inhibitor turret. What we are seeing right now from Twisted Minds, again, is the punishment from the overextensions of TNC Pro Team. We understand the intent behind it, but when you lack one player, you would initially think that you're going to be backing out, but they tried to get the purple buff from Twisted Minds. So Twisted Minds is like, okay, we're 5, you're 4, we can kill you all.
Wow, basic math.
That is basic math, but that's why I was scratching my head. I was like, man, TNC, do they really want to stay on that side? You know, especially after losing Yawi, and even when they killed Yawi, Twisted Minds didn't have to use too much just because, again, he went through with the unstoppable force. They caught him out with the implosion, and like you mentioned, Outplayed is stacked up right now. He is beefed up.
That one more item and Outplayed is already item locked. He will literally hit like a tank.
He will, and so
Escalera with a flicker. Look at that! It's Zyda going down. Jungler removed from TNC. And they keep going. Yawi's here. They're trying to get something back, but the kills are just not killing today. And look at that. Free Martizi surrounded.
Oh, no.
They got him surrounded. There's nowhere to go from him. And the glue is going to fall.
I would like to commend Escalera with that play. He was able to catch Zyda. Imagine Zyda, the jungler, out of all people. The kit Lancey has with the Deathly Grasp has enough to be able to stop Escalera, but it just so happens that the conceal was perfectly timed and the flicker, so Zyda was caught off guard. And now, they're taking this turtle, Lord, freely.
It's really coming down to the roams here in this game one.
For sure.
You know, first it was Yawi really not being able to find the pickoffs he was looking for. There was one time he was able to find Escalera. Now Escalera has done it 2 in a row, and especially the last one being able to pick off Zyda. So Twisted Minds in a matter of setups and punishes. Again, it wasn't all them. Like TNC kind of outplayed themselves by getting punished. And so Twisted Minds, they're going to walk into this base. The mid turret's already down. They've got a pretty good Lord to push in with this. And Outplayed has not been touched. Neither has MP the King. Just picks up the Divine Glaive. They are ready for this base fight. Benny Cutie already getting checked here. Lord in the mid. And they might go ahead and just force these top turrets in the bottom one.
TNC really has to find Outplayed here. He is maxed out almost on his Sky Piercer stacks, and anyone in front of the Grange is going to go down. James, though, look at that. Going to get exploded once more. Lancey getting the kill this time around. Everyone got pushed back here, but Escalera will still be alive, but only for a minute there, for a moment, rather. And that's going to be TNC pushing Twisted back.
That's tough. I think Twisted Minds needed to flow their minions better so that they will be able to capitalize on the Lord more. It just so happens that the middle lane, Lord Siege, was able to get pushed down to the bottom lane. So the Lord wasn't that much of a threat. And yes, that was a great catch coming from Escalera. I think that was a 3-man, 4-man catch. But it just so happens that the damage dealers weren't there enough to be able to succeed the setup. And in turn, that didn't translate really into a full-blown team fight that benefited Twisted Minds.
Those shots, they hurt.
Spicy shots there, literal artillery coming in from Twisted.
Yeah, MP goes and grabs that, and you gotta have an answer. If you're TNC, that's the thing. How do they even get to outplayed? You know, how do you get even close enough to him? Because Escalera and James have been doing such a good job at playing that front line, but then again, Hajizi with the feathered airstrike is enough damage to keep you from second guessing basically to get into Outplayed's territory, and this is what we've been talking about the Granger the whole time, man. Like, he is just so good as a hero because of the range. As you can see here, you know, he's stacked up, man.
Yeah. 564 of the Carpaccio, the passive. So essentially that means he has more damage and he has more cooldown. He'll be able to spam the first skill and the ultimate more. But right now, just wanted to, in a way, point to Naisu's question to be able to reach Outplayed. I think TNC Pro Team needs to not mind Escalera that much, because I'd say Lancey has a kit, the Deathly Grasp again, to be able to cancel the Flicker Implosion play if that were to happen. And instead, focus more on the backlines, because so far, both Hajizi and Outplayed backline players are having a great time. They're having the time of their lives because no one is reaching to them, right?
So it kind of depends on Lancey hitting the Deathly Grasp as well.
Okay, well, Lord is up. Twisted Minds has control of this. So TNC might have to get a little creative.
Oh, there you go. I mean, you kind of called it there. Yawi looking for the right target. Hey, look for MP the King, but MP the King will be able to survive, at least for now, though. Up on front is Escalera. He took so many of those shots. Even Hajizi can't fly away. It's a disaster for Twisted Minds. They're losing members left, right, and center. And that's Outplayed and James all alone on the map.
Outplayed, though. He's still up. I don't know if he's actually going to go for this. It's only him and James. That's going to be a Lord secured, man. What a turnaround.
Do they even need it, though? Look at that. They're walking it up.
A lot of action. This is an action-packed MLBB match, and it all started with the play coming from Yawi. Again, this is really Yawi's strength, I would say. Much more that he is a high-risk, high-reward type of player. He was able to reach MP the King. We were just talking about how to reach the back lines, and he was able to do so by missing out on the implosion play coming from Escalera. I think Escalera was 2 inches probably short from that implosion. If he caught Yawi, that would have been that much of a disaster as compared to how it played out at the side of Twisted.
Did it actually happen? Did Escalera go conceal and then got hit by the Deathly Grasp? We have to watch that, but look at that. Lancey going to be able to do a little bit of emergency tap here. Not really necessary up on front. Twisted Minds still got good firepower, though.
That was really good use from MP the King. We talked about this in the draft when the Vexana was picked up, you know? And yeah, you're just going to drop down the Eternal Guard. And so what does that all result to? Not much off that Lord take for TNC. Twisted Minds stays controlled and actually keeps a lot of just the space that they could have lost off of that.
I think bouncing back and going back to our keys to victory for Outplayed specifically to be able to, in a way, reclaim yourself from what happened in the first time that these two teams have met, right? The performance coming from Outplayed is very solid, as well as MP the King. Both the cores, the damage dealers of Twisted Minds right now, are being able to dish out enough damage output against their opponent, and that's really what Twisted Minds is capitalizing on and banking on right now, because considering that Escalera has been able to set up properly so far, that's just what they need to continue doing moving forward.
Yeah, and taking a look at the items here, you know, nearly almost locked in for a couple of the members here, but also for the roams as they get those last items locked in, that helps them withstand some of that damage. And because this is a game for them, for the roamers, and honestly, it can go either way. Once we get to that Lord and about less than a minute away, it's going to be crucial, you know. And then you have to start considering the swapping of these immortalities, the winter crowns, you know, and everything else being swapped in. Those will make a difference because so far every team fight that we've seen, it hasn't been one-sided. You know, it's really dependent on how the team fight breaks out, and always around the Lord pit when that comes up is crucial for the roams here. So again, I think there's a minor advantage, I want to say, for Twisted Minds, simply for the fact that James can scout things out. And if he gets tossed in the air, it's not the end of the world for Twisted Minds. He can actually defensively flicker. You see now he does have an immortality, so he's got that little coverage as well. And so Twisted Minds should have a better time at finding the favorable pickoff. But unless TNC is able to pull something off and just overload with damage here, Lord is now coming up. So we'll see how these teams manage it. Again, a very minor advantage for Twisted Minds in the fact that they've got one base turret down. It would have been great if they can get that long lane down on the bottom side, because that mid turret doesn't change things too much when it's down. It's more so either the top or bottom.
Look at that. So they're trying to get into position here. James up on front. That's been the big thing they said that was lacking yesterday. I was talking to the teams. They said, you know what, James, you've got to be up more front. Got to be up center here. And it is what he's trying to do as much as he can. Escalera's on the side. He's like on a covert ops here.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on Escalera. I mean, both him and Yawi, that's really what you want to pay attention to. And you can see this. TNC doesn't have to force the positioning on this one. They're going to manage those waves the best they can. MP will just go ahead and grab the buff. He knows that nothing's really going to break out right now, so we'll see how they respond to this. They should have this control, but 3mar will wait patiently. He has his own immortality. And so we see how this all plays out.
I think right now Twisted Minds has the advantage for the sole reason that their bottom lane, the long lane, has been pushed wonderfully. And this is where XP laners play their role. They have to scout the Lord pit. Looking at 3mar, TZ, and James, that's what they have been doing, because that will give them the go signal probably. But that is a less resource. They know, Twisted Minds, that Yawi doesn't have conceal now.
Yeah, they don't have to be too scared right now. MP King also knows this. So at least he won't get taken by surprise here. Maybe, just maybe. Unless Yawi tries to go for a big play, like he doesn't want to go covert. He wants to go like guns a-blazing here with a flicker ejector maybe.
He's going to watch out though too. I mean, either roam, you can kind of feel the tension between them because they know, like, all right, I got conceal, you don't. I have flicker, you do too. We can actually start the fight if we want to. And all this is doing is also just allowing more of these items to be picked up. You've got now that Genius Wand now locked in for Hajizi. So, you know, this combination of reducing that magic resistance with this kind of lineup that Twisted Minds has, that's why they're able to go through these health bars so quickly of TNC. Escalera did pop the conceal. Not sure if he's going to commit to it though. So, again, Lord's being held for now. Twisted Minds trying to see if they want to look for their own angle. A couple shots already. Yawi and 3mar.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it. There you go. Yawi with the flicker. No one was home, though. And the damage is real here for Jaw Jeezy. He is untouched. Escalera up on front. He's actually low. Flicker used by James. They're forcing up a lot of skills here, a lot of ultimates, as well as battle spells.
No battle spells right now for 3 members of Twisted Minds, and it seems as if TNC will capitalize on that by taking on this Lord. But then, no ultimate, so this is going to be a longer Lord dance.
That felt like a messy, chaotic fight. I mean, there was conceals used, there was flickers that were not.
Ultimates.
There was ultimates used.
There were germs that were thrown. He only saw germs there on the ground.
Well, right now, TNC does hold control. Feathered Airstrike going to force Side back. Look at how low he gets for getting hit once. So Lord goes in for a reset, and we might just be completely at it again. The biggest thing missing right now is the flickers for Twisted Minds and even for TNC. So they might just have to force a fight without the battle spells available unless they drag it out again.
If you're in this game, you're keeping your eyes on your counters. Your timers are basically the same as your opponents.
Yawi.
Conceal already used up by Yawi. That's how long this actually took. bypass on MP the King, and he will be detected. That means no conceal as well.
Oh,
and another feathered airstrike. Look at the damage is real here coming in from Hajizi, but now they can't use that to zone. Now, this could be an opening for TNC if only Free Martizi had some help.
Well, this might be an opening here. Twisted Minds gets control. They know a lot's down. 3mar goes back to base. It's half health the Lord.
Oh, Escalera, he's gonna find Zyda. He knows Zyda is here, and now it is gonna be a Lord coming in for Twisted. Betty Cutie gonna be here to look for Hajizi. Can they get more though? Can they get another kill? Looks like it's a no-go. It's Twisted Minds just running for the hills.
Oh, an MP in the mid. That wave's gonna be cleared by 3mar, but man, even without Hajizi, I'm wondering if Twisted Minds can get into the base here, even if it's just going to be cleared out by TNC because of that.
Yeah, I think that was tough from the side of Twisted Minds because Hajizi fell, but at the same time, right now they have the Lord, and it's Benny Cutie against Outplayed. Benny's painful!
That is really insane right now. There goes the Eternal Guard, keeping it in tow. Good damage coming in from TNC, but Zyda, MP the King, they're going insane. Outplayed is still alive. James up on front. He's looking for Zyda. Zyda is going to have to make a run for it.
Oh, but the Lord.
Where's the Lord? Where's the Lord? They're running. They're trying to go for the defense. They're not being allowed to recall.
Okay, they have to stop this. Zyda's back there alongside Lancey. Can they defend against that push? Outplayed.
Oh my goodness, that isolation on Outplayed feels like it's so huge. And now it's Zyda up on front. MP the King is very healthy. Escalera coming in with a huge implosion, forcing the flicker off of Lancey. Can they defend this though? I really don't think so. It's a big Lord and a big win for Twisted Minds.